Your AL and NL Players of the Week. Cedar Rafael is becoming a superstar, folks, before our very eyes. The Red Sox are red hot, 28-5 last 33 games. He's a huge reason why he's going to win a Gold Glove in center field. And Sandy Alcantara's last 2 starts, 13 innings, no runs. Dominated the Phillies, then the Mets. Sandy looking great, helping his organization. We're less than 3 minutes to go before the deadline. And Sandy Alcantara, the Player of the Week, with 2 minutes and 34 seconds to go before the trade deadline, is not going to get traded.
Well, we don't know that yet, but I
really? I think we kind of know.
I still think the Phillies are in on this conversation. I do. That's just my gut. I don't have. Nobody's told me a word.
Astros.
Nobody's told. Look, if let me ask you this question, because here's my thought on it. If he doesn't get traded today, and they move the piece of Hicks and other things they're doing, is it a loss for the Marlins?
They're a game and a half out of the wild card right now.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's a loss. I would hold on to them for that reason. They're in this thing, and already Clayton McCullough and the coaching staff, they're going to have to do some cleanup there in the clubhouse because they're trading Liam Hicks, who's a really good player, really good hitter.
He leads the team in RBIs.
And they're in the thick of things. You have to explain that. Now, I understand Peter Bendix, their president of baseball operations, knows the talent in the Tampa Bay system. And I'm sure the guys he got back, he's really excited about.
Yeah.
Good for you. But as far as right here, right now, if I'm in that major league clubhouse, what's the plan here, guys? What do we do?
I think the bigger story for the Marlins is sit behind the plate, catch the ball, we're calling the pitches. They don't care about a catcher. I'm just.
Well, they got a good one now, Joe Mack.
Tom, every time you talk, I apologize, Tom. The Guardians are acquiring Nathaniel Lowe from the Reds. So the Reds.
That was talked about. Yeah.
Well, Nathaniel Lowe.
They got to see him up close last week, too.
Victor Vodnik acquired from the Rockies to the Marlins. Connor Norby and right-hander Aiden May going in return. So the Marlins add a reliever. They're clearly not.
They're going for it, Sandy. Not going nowhere. I asked the question, and Tom answered it brilliantly. They're a game and a half out. So this, to me, is refreshing that the Marlins are going for it. I don't think the catcher position they worry about, because if you can catch the ball, we're calling the pitches. That's been known. That's what they think, and they'll figure it out. But this is where they're headed. And I'll tell you what, for this team to be talking about playoffs is a beautiful revelation. It is. They weren't there for the last couple seasons.
A year ago, 20 seconds ago before the deadline passes, I would have told you Sandy Alcantara would be the NL Player of the Week leading into the trade deadline, but he wouldn't get traded. You'd be like, oh, then the Marlins must be winning their division. Not the case. 9 seconds. We're down to 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The deadline has come and gone.
Now explain why we'll see things come in.
So we're going to hang on. We're with you for the next 2 hours, reacting to what we've already learned. And as Tom can articulate, these deals at the last second do take a bit of time to become public, correct?
Yes, they have to be completed before the deadline in terms of getting all the paperwork in. But sometimes it takes a few minutes, believe it or not, even in today's world, for the word to get out that a deal is actually completed. But it's not like you have a conversation going and you're close to being it done. You can stop the clock and finish it after the deadline. No, everything has to be signed, sealed, delivered. And then we kind of hear about it later. And usually there are deals that are literally done at the last minute.
Right. But even
Jeff Passan doesn't know yet.
Phone calls can only happen to the commissioner's office from this point forward, right? So they're on the phones reporting deals that they've agreed upon. Hence a trade alert. The Pittsburgh Pirates acquiring Kirby Yates.
Interesting. Another bullpen piece for the Pirates.
They get Luke Weaver, Kirby Yates.
Look, guys, we have the White Sox, the Pirates, and the Marlins all in to advance their team and add to their clubs this year. This is a tremendous revelation of the sport.
Wild card is a wonderful thing.
Yes.
It really is.
It is.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys. Another trade alert. The San Diego Padres have made a move. Casey Mize. So I stand corrected.
Wow, yeah, you are.
The Detroit Tigers have gone on a fire sale, but now I'm wondering where are the other chips? No interest on Kenley Jansen, Finnegan, Gleyber Torres. Well, let's talk about that for a second. The San Diego Padres add a guy that has had a terrific season for the Detroit Tigers. Casey Mize goes into a rotation that features Michael King and Robbie Ray.
Wow.
They have upgraded their starting rotation dramatically today.
Yeah.
And they needed that. I mean, was there really any doubt what A.J. Preller and the Padres were going to do? Remember, if you go back, 3 weeks ago, maybe even less than that, we're talking about Adrian Morejon or Mason Miller, and the Padres may move some people and pivot and rebuild the farm system. No, that's not what they
came
do.
close.
That's not what they do, though. Push comes to shove, and their rotation is given out, I think, the 3rd fewest innings in Major League Baseball. They needed to address the rotation. They did it twice over with 2 really good arms. Like, their rotation went from a little shaky to an actual strength right now.
Well, the thing about it, too, is with new ownership taking over the Padres, A.J. had to go for it, show them they could be competitive, be in it, get in the postseason, all that. And he can still trade Miller in the spring and get back a haul. Nobody's going to say no in spring training for Mason Miller. That deal, that chip will be sitting there. And I guarantee you he'll play that properly when that time comes. But right now, the time for the Padres and for him is to show new ownership. Look, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go for it. You're going to come to some playoff games. You're going to sit in the front row, and you're going to love watching us play in front of our crowd.
Let's talk about what we know so far. The Philadelphia Phillies acquired Luis Arraez and a bullpen piece, so they've tried to get 2 bullpen pieces. The Arizona Diamondbacks got Lars Nootbaar minutes ago from the St. Louis Cardinals. The Chicago Cubs bolstered their starting rotation dramatically.
Change it.
As we look at things, of those 4 teams, you know what? Go all the way down to the Pirates. The Pirates were buyers. The Marlins ended up buying. They got a reliever at the end. The Padres, dramatic buyers. Phillies, Cubs, the Diamondbacks, really quiet. Of all those teams, they didn't go for it.
They didn't have a lot of payroll flexibility. I think they only had about $6 or $7 million before they went over the first threshold, luxury tax threshold, which they did not want to do. But they did have a need for a left-handed bat, either first base / DH. Nootbaar at least addresses a need. Maybe not the top of the market, but he filled a need. But to me, getting back to Skubal, because he's the headliner, but this trade deadline to me is about starting pitching. We've had more than 20 starting pitchers moved. And the goal at the deadline is if you can get not just a starting pitcher, but somebody who's going to start game 1, 2, or 3 of a postseason series. That's hard to do. The Padres got 2 of them.
Yeah, they did.
Imagine that clubhouse. Harold, you talked about getting deals, getting major leaguers back. Imagine that Padres clubhouse right now. They got Casey Mize and Robbie Ray.
Yeah.
Right? And they've been trying to patch things together, middle, back of the rotation. Those are 2 front of the rotation guys who would start playoff games.
Yeah, I'm with you. And you could say the same thing about the Cubs. Kevin Gausman, I know his numbers were inflated this year, did not have a good year. And he's a rental, but in a postseason series, he's going to start possibly game 1 or 2 for the Chicago Cubs.
And I mentioned that the Cubs needed some swing and miss stuff. He's got that when he's right. Now, recently, looking at what he's done here, this is since June 19th. You'd rather have a pitcher who's hot, right, when you get him at the deadline. That's not been Gausman. ERA over 6 in his last 40-plus innings. I want to show you what's going on. I know the split is really his best swing and miss pitch. But when I look at the fastball of Kevin Gausman lately as compared to where it should be, that's getting hit, especially by right-handed hitters. When you look at the opposing average by right-handed hitters, it's almost 500. So what's going on? I mean, here's the number there, 490 against his heater.
Wow.
For me, Kevin Gausman to set up that split really needs to own the inside of the plate with his heater, and that hasn't been happening. When he's right, yeah, that's what he does, either up in the zone or not there. I'm talking about fastball leaking out over the plate where it becomes hittable. Nobody wants to throw it middle. He's not trying to do that. These are mistakes. But the mistakes I noticed, especially in his last start, was when he is trying to get the ball inside and he's losing it over the plate. I want you to look at these pitches now. Watch where the target is, where he wants to go, and watch where the baseball winds up. That's right into the barrel, right? You can't do that. Major league hitters, and especially in this day and age when you don't see a lot of heaters in the middle, are going to jump on it. Same area where he wants to go, misses the spot, pays for another base hit. I'm not done yet. I still got more of these to show you. I don't want to pick on him, but I'm telling you, his stuff is still good. It's a matter of locating his fastball. Target in, pitch over the middle of the plate again. That's been happening too much lately. I think that's an easy fix. That's a mechanical thing. He's just lost his slot there to get the ball back on the inside part of the plate. I love this pickup. I'm telling you, this guy, I would feel comfortable giving him the ball in game 1 of a postseason series. And again, that's what the deadline's about to me. Trying to get a postseason starter is really hard. And a guy who's done it before, I mean, basically, I don't want to say he carried the Blue Jays to the World Series, but he was a big part of them getting there as a leader of the staff. And now the Cubs have a guy who can front the rotation.
Here's another thing I see, too. The guaranteed contract matters. Padres' offense hasn't been what you thought it would be. The Dodgers have scuffled along the way offensively. Some guys have had big years, other guys have not. And then you look at the other moves that were made, the Cubs. Look, you have guaranteed contracts. The season is over. Your stats don't matter. You got paid. Throw that out now, and it's time for the postseason. So these clubs have boosted their leaks in their boats. They've plugged the holes. And now, guys, that season's over. We played. We got ready. Now the season starts. Forget your numbers. I know you haven't hit the way you want to. Throw that out. This is why we invested in you. And now we're bringing the reinforcements. That's really what postseason ball is about.
Minnesota Twins acquired Jeff Hoffman right before the deadline. Texas Rangers, I know they've lost 5 in a row. They got swept by the Astros. That's heartbreaking. They're a game and a half out of the wild card. And they sat there reportedly dangling Corey Seager and Jacob deGrom and Nathan Eovaldi. Essentially, if those guys would have waived no trades, they were looking to blow it up a game and a half out.
Yeah, but
So but nothing.
But what I get
the
from
sweep
that,
by the Astros really hurt them and changed things. And then you go to DeGrom, who's got the full no trade. If he doesn't want to go, you're hamstrung. And Seager has partial no trade and will be 10-5 after this season. So they were kind of boxed in terms of their best assets that they wanted to deal.
But here's the thing. At the end of the day, the players mean something. And when they have a voice, guys, we're 1.5 out. I'm planning to get in the playoffs. You might want to trade off the assets, but we think we got a shot. That's the mindset of the ball players. They're a game and a half back. Don't talk to me about getting traded. I think we can get in this thing and we got a chance to win. That's how the players are.
What if you're in the Rangers clubhouse and you didn't add? I mean, essentially, everybody has added.
Then it becomes us against
the Astros, Dalton Varsho.
I'm not just in that division. I'm talking about around baseball. If you're close, people are adding talent. You have to. The door closes. Can't make any deals after this, major league deals. So if you're a team that doesn't do something this time of year, you're going backward.
Now you got to have a serious conversation. You got to go in that clubhouse and have a conversation. Because we offered up deGrom, we offered up Eovaldi, and we offered up Seager. And all of them said, we're a game and a half back. What are you talking about? That means you got to come down from that front office and have a conversation, or this season is over.
Ooh.